So let's take a few minutes just to find a comfortable, relaxed posture. And just make sure your back is straight. And just bring your focus to your breath. The in and out of your breath. And with each out breath, just completely let go. And if you wish, you can count in and out as one, and so on. And now from this quiet space, visualize in front of us, on a beautiful lotus and moon cushion, sits none other than our most precious holy Guru in the form of Shakyamuni Buddha, one face in two hands, wearing the robes and looking at each one of us with great love and compassion. And he's surrounded by all the Buddhas of the 10 directions. And below him are His Holiness the Dalai Lama and all the Nalanda masters. Just feel their presence, feel that they're actually here in front of us. And surrounding us on either side are our mother and all female sentient beings on the left-hand side, and our father and all male sentient beings on the right-hand side. So we don't leave out a single sentient being. And then we remind ourselves of the purpose of this practice, that we are doing this practice to remove all our obscurations, the afflictive and cognitive obscurations, all the dirt from the gold that lies within us, so that we can fully actualize our full potential and be of the greatest benefit to each and every sentient being. So keeping that in mind, we turn to page 3. Page 3. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. I go for refuge until I am enlightened, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened, to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye chodan sogi chognam la jangju bardu dani kepsu chi dagi jinso gipe sognam ki drola pencher sangye drupar shog. Sangye chodan sogi chognam la jangju bardu dani kepsu chi dagi jinso gipe sognam ki drola pencher sangye drupar shug. Sangye chodan sogi chognam la changchu bardu dani kyapsu chi dagi jinso gi pe sonam ki drola pencher sangye drupar shu. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is freed of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all lead hearers seeking pacification to complete peace, which through the knower of paths causes those helping migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subduers expound a variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugata, and protector, to you I make prostrations. The one who has the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you, the Buddha, I make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. The essence of the dependent origination mantra. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun teshan tatagato hevadat Teshan chayo niroda evam vadi mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun teshan tatagato hevadat Teshan chayo niroda evam vadi mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun teshan tatagato hevadat Teshan chayo niroda evam vadi mahashramanaye swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite, such is the nectar-like dharma I have discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I will retire into the woods. Beyond utterance, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. It is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three times, I pay obeisance. The four seals of Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are of the nature of suffering. All phenomena are of the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma. Likewise, the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not wash the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. Instructions on parting from the 4 attachments. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Page 14, Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the 4 destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise then, I prostrate. With pure bodies, forms supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With a supreme science, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust-free like you, the 3 worlds are not. Incomparable, wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the Tathagata, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy feel qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the Sangha, I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew, or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the 4 falls, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. The Heart Sutra, page 29. The Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time. The Buddha was dwelling on massive Vulture's Mountain in Rajagriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara: how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara said this to the venerable Sharadvati Putra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty. Emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unseized, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomena. There is no I element, and so on, up to and including no mind element, and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the endpoint of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly, completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared, Tayata Om Gate Gate Para Gate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from that concentration and commended the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage. It is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Sharadvati Putra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Arya Avalokiteshvara, those surrounding in their entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Buddha. This completes the Arya Bhagavati Prajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra. Teata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Teata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Teata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Teata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Teata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Teata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. Teata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasam Gate Bodhi Swaha. By the teachings of the three supreme jewels possessing the power of truth, may inner and outer hindrances be transformed. May they be dispelled. May they be non-existent. May they be pacified. May all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified. May the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified. May we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma. May all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma. May auspiciousness and perfect happiness pervade this place now. Page 35. Eight Verses for Training the Mind by Geshe Langri Tangpa. With a determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others, out of jealousy, treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped or in whom I have placed great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard him still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all this remain undefiled by the stains of the eight mundane concerns, and may I, recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. Lama Tsongkhapa's Lamrim dedication prayer. From my two collections, vast as space, that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose mind's wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. The seven-limb practice, excerpt from the King of Prayers, the extraordinary aspiration of the practice of Samantabhadra. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri, you the Buddhas, the lines amongst humans, gone to freedom in the present, past, and future in the worlds of 10 directions. To all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world, to all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every particle are Buddhas numberless as particles, each amidst a host of bodhisattvas, and I am confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans of praise for you, and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you Sugatas. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense, I offer to you, victorious ones, the Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array, I offer to you, victorious ones. With transcendent offerings, peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I have done, with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and ignorance, all these I openly lay bare before you. I lift up my heart and rejoice in all the merit of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers, hearers still training, and those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained a Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening, all you who are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request, you who may actualize parinirvana, please stay with us for eons, numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated, by making prostrations, offering and confessing, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddhas stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for the full awakening of all beings. The short mandala offering. Pu ki chu sheng me to tra ri ra ling zi ni de gen pa di Sangye Jingdu Mikte Ulwai Drokur Namadak Jingla Chupar Shu. This ground, anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon, I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. The four dharmas of Venerable Gampopa. May I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the dharma. May I be blessed that my dharma practice is on the proper path. May I be blessed that the path is freed of flaws. May I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. The four dharmas of Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva. Becoming utterly frustrated with the ignorance that grasps at true existence, please bless me to generate genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality, on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality of bliss and emptiness. Edam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryata Yami. The Foundation of All Good Qualities by Lama Tsongkhapa. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to the Guru is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon the Guru with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again, please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly, day and night, takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karmas follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativities, and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is the door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teachings is keeping the pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so have all mother migratory beings. Please bless me to see this, train in supreme bodhicitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop bodhicitta, but I don't practice the 3 types of morality, I will not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I have pacified distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyzed the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of calm abiding and special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the basis of accompanying the 2 attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I have become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges like my life. Then, having realized the importance of the 2 stages, the essence of Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Guru who showed the noble path and the spiritual friends who practice it have long lives. Please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect Gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of the stages and paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. Meaning of the Miksema verse: You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hordes of demons without exception. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages of the land of snows, Losangdrapa, at your feet I make prostration. Now the Miksema verse. Mig me zewe ter chen rezik dreame ken pe wampo jampelyong Ganchen kepe zugen so kapa lozang drape zabla zulwade mig me zewe ter chen rezik dreame ken pe wampo jampelyong Ganchen kepe zugen songkapa lozang drape zabla zulwade mig me zewe ter chen rezik dreame ken pe wampo jampelyong Ganchen kepe zugen so kapa lozang drape zabla zulwade.
Thank you, Venerable Pejala. And now, generating the mind of concept yoga, consisting of 3 or 4 points: single point shamatha meditation, renunciation, bodhicitta, and the wisdom of emptiness. And then to be completed to it, taking the expression bodhisattva vow. Okay, for the bodhicitta, for the shamatha practice, I do see that there are the many new, and I don't know those who are new, meaning that who I'm seeing more first time this time. If you are already familiar with meditation, if yes, well and good. And if not, and this meditation is to be done with great utmost care and to make sure that we don't make mistakes. And of course, once you know what the mistakes can be, still we can make mistakes. That's slightly different. Not knowing what the mistakes are being made, and then you just continue doing that, we build an extremely bad habit. And to undo the bad habit will take again much more time, and this is a problem. So therefore, right from the beginning, we make sure that the meditation, particularly if you are new to this system meaning that new to meditation, I would ask you to pay special attention to this. For the body posture, most important thing is the body upright. This is the most important thing. We talked about the sevenfold, the Buddha Vajrayana's position. But of two things are very important. One is the body upright position, and the other one is eyes not closed. Eyes 45 degrees cast down, half open, 45 degrees cast down, and ignore. These two are the most important things. Meanwhile, of course, then the body should be kept relaxed. It should not be rigid, tight. This is the most important thing. And then hand gesture is fine. Right hand and left hand with the tips of the thumbs joining, forming a triangle. Place the two hands on the lap in restful state. And breathe normally. Okay, this is a body posture, that's fine. But the eyes not closed as beginners. Later on, when you become good at it, good meditation, when you get used to this, then you can judge yourself. Sometimes with eyes open is good, sometimes with eyes closed is good, and in both cases, you can meditate. Whereas beginners, if they start with the eyes closed, then when you give eyes closed, it seems like you are meditating, and the moment you open your eyes, you cannot meditate. So later on, we should develop a skill whereby in all situations, with eyes closed, open, lying down, standing up, in all situations, you'll be able to meditate. So this is what we are expected to learn. For that matter, start with the eyes open, which is a little more difficult. And once you build a skill, that's extremely rewarding in ways that your eyes are wide open there, and your mind can meditate whatever you like. You know, mind, on emptiness, on bodhicitta, impermanence. Your eyes are just staring at somebody else, but you're meditating. So that is, if you learn only with eyes closed, the moment you open your eyes, you cannot meditate. Okay. These two things are very important. And then the focal point, what I explained, just count the breath, breathe in, breathe out. Meanwhile, the multitasking, visualizing tiny white dot, windows, upper lip. Okay, that's fine. Number 3 and 4 are so important. Number 3 and 4, either the one did not get the instruction, one doesn't know. Number 3 and number 4, and then you think you are meditating like this, or with closed eyes like this, and then your mind distracted, and body is amazing. You sit like this for like 2 hours, 3 hours, and people think they're meditating. You are fooling yourself. This is self-deception. You are not meditating. Your mind can be distracted in lax state like this, but when your mind is in a subtle laxity, you will not if you're not trained in these, you will not be even aware that you are in a lax state. And then people outside may think that you are in a deep meditation. You are not. It is fooling yourself, self-deception. So therefore, number 3 and number 4 are so important. Number 3, identify the errors of meditation, errors there twofold, mental laxity and mental excitement. And gradually, when you become good at it, then you will identify the mental laxity, gross and subtle. Mental excitement, gross and subtle. All these nuances will come later. As of now, just focus on these two. Identifying the laxity, which means inactivity of the mind, and excitement, which is overactivity of the mind. And so after knowing these 4 points so well, particularly point number 3 and 4 so well, and still in meditation, yes, you'll fall into laxity, you can fall into the excitement, these things happen. Then, because you know it so well, okay, now my mind is become a little lax. I have to apply the remedy. Well, now my mind is a little scattered with these dogs barking. My mind is pulled. Okay, now my mind is pulled, it's being distracted, so I should bring it back with the help of the what remedies. And remedies do introspection, mindfulness. So once in a while, keep an eye on your mind to see if your mind is still meditating or is already distracted or it is cooking up stories. Mind can create stories, and then stories can just take you for a tour and you're unaware, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you're unaware. And suddenly if you are somebody who really meditates, takes meditation very important, not just for the sake of showing off, not for the sake of saying that I'm doing something, but knowing the benefit of this, and then you're distracted, your mind actually takes you into a street tour, and you are unaware of that. And suddenly, because that you're very serious with the meditation, suddenly you wake up. My mind was just being distracted, carried away. You'll be fascinated how the mind distracts you, how the mind pulls you, cooks up stories, and then you are being taken to distractions. So these things are there. When these things happen, then apply the remedies. Once in a while, you have to check whether the mind is distracted, still meditating, or in relaxed state. That is introspection. With the introspection, you see that your mind is distracted or in a relaxed state. Then bring the mind back to the intended object with the help of the rope of the mindfulness. That is so important. Once you know that your mind is flowing so well, then don't apply the remedies. Don't apply the remedies, let it flow. So, I said, when the mind is flowing so well in the meditation, if you apply the remedies constantly, the remedy itself will become distraction. So, these are the things that we need to keep in mind. Okay, and then later on, or you become so good at it that you don't really need introspection. Introspection will come automatically, where you're flowing, you know that your mind is flowing. You're flowing into the meditation. Whereas initially, you have to forcefully apply the introspection once in a while. Are you ready? 5 minutes. Okay. The next renunciation, which we do on the basis of the 4 seals. And today is what? Instruction? No, without instruction. Huh? No instruction, right? Okay. You remember that? Or forgot? Okay. So without instruction. So what we do is that this is a part of training. Well, without instructions, see how you do that, and then later on when we do the instruction tomorrow, once in a while we do with instruction, without instruction, and then with instruction your mind will be more alert to catch to register what the instruction is given. Otherwise, it just flows, and then you never become independent. Okay, so what we do is that slight or little instructions given once in a while here and there. And when I move from the first seal to the second seal, when I move verbally, when I move to the second seal, then no need to just rush to the second. Complete whatever you're doing with the first, complete that very quickly, wind it up quickly, and then move to the second. It doesn't mean that you have to jump abruptly. Likewise, second to the third. When I utter the third seal, you again wind up the second and move to the third. Even if you're not completed and the second one so well, don't worry, just wind it up and move to the third. So we need to learn the time management with the meditation. Okay, ready? Renunciation. Renunciation means to renounce miseries. It is not to renounce the happiness. To renounce the miseries, we need to know how to renounce causes of the miseries. A Buddha taught, Ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum desham tathagato ihavatat. And the Buddha identified the cause of miseries as ultimately the ignorance on top of the contaminant karmas, afflictions, inappropriate attention, and finally the self-grasping ignorance. And to eradicate ignorance, given that there are so many layers of ignorance, the Buddha taught 4 seals. The first seal, all composite things are impermanent, to counteract the ignorance which believes things as impermanent phenomena as permanent. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are of suffering nature. How to get away from all these miseries is by getting rid of the contamination. Contamination here refers to the causes of the miseries, contaminant karmas and afflictions, inappropriate attention, and self-grasping ignorance. And finally, to cut the root, the self-grasping ignorance has to be cut. How to cut it? By introducing a very powerful remedy. What's the remedy to this ignorance? The wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom is the discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with the reality. What's the reality? The reality is what the Buddha indicated as the third seal. Everything is the nature of emptiness, selflessness. Nothing really exists objectively. Everything exists subjectively. Everything exists, good, bad, rebirth. Everything exists, but nothing exists objectively. Everything exists subjectively. Failing to see things as empty of objective reality, or failing to see things as subjective real, you see things as objective real. And seeing things objective real, you lose your freedom. Loss of freedom is misery. So, we have to discover that everything is the nature of the emptiness and selflessness. Not everything is empty of objective reality. How do we know this? Okay. What we learned yesterday is that, say, today, let us think of the emptiness of emptiness of yourself. How do you see? Think of yourself. What are you doing? I'm meditating. And how does this person who you identified as I exist? To appear? How does it appear to exist? Of course, this person appears to exist so object real, not like a dream, so solidly there, so well defined there. This belief that this I exists objectively is self-grasping ignorance. And how do we know that this is ignorance, is not valid mind? Remember what Arya Nagarjuna taught. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? If this person were to exist objectively, why don't I see this person as I go closer towards the object? And yesterday what we learned is that a mind, the same object can be seen by two different perspectives. One from distance, one from close by. One from distance is known as conventional analysis, and one from close by is known as ultimate analysis. So if the self does exist objectively, it should be seen by the ultimate analysis, which looks for the self from close inspection. So now let us subject the self to ultimate analysis. Subject self to ultimate analysis, we see that very thin layer of the skin. Of course, we're only interested in the self, which appeared as object real and nothing else. Everything which is not self, just ignore. In the ultimate analysis, we see a thin layer of the skin which is not you. Behind that, the fatty tissues. Behind that, the muscles, cartilages, the flesh, the whole skeleton, the heart, the lungs, the liver, the pancreas, intestine, gallbladder, and these all parts constitute element of earth. Of course, none of the element earth is to be identified as the self. Now, what next? Element of water, 4 liters of blood that is pumped in and out by the heart to the different parts of the body. Of course, that is not me. Element of fire, 2,600 joules of energy of your body. Of course, that is not me. Element of air, 4.6 liters of air that you breathe in and out through your lungs. Even that is also not me. Element space, 99.99% of our body is vacuum. Our body is nothing but made of atoms, and a space occupied by the electrons, protons, neutrons, versus a space in between the electrons and the nucleus. The space in between is far bigger in comparison with the space occupied by the electrons, protons, neutrons. So essentially we are like vacuum. But I'm not a vacuum person. I'm a solid person who has a space of vacuum in nature, and the element space is also not me. What is next? Element of consciousness, or my mind. My mind is not me. I'm a male. I'm a female. My mind does not have a gender. Gender is posited on the basis of the body. And people can see me. People cannot see my mind. So therefore this mind is not me. This element of consciousness or the element of mind is also not me. Okay, now you are seeing, subjecting the self to ultimate analysis, we see the 6 elements. Which of the 6 elements is to be identified as you? This girl, this boy, and so forth? No, none of these 6 elements is self. Okay, if not, then see if it exists, this self exists as different from the 6 elements. Remove the 6 elements. What is left? Nothing is left there. From there, we deduce that from the object, subjecting the self to ultimate analysis, that my mind has come too close to the object, and from, if it does it subjectively, the mind which comes too close to the object, it should be able to see that. And on the contrary, this self simply disappears. It's like the table disappearing in the eyes of the ultimate analysis, the house disappearing in the eyes of the ultimate analysis. This self is no exception, it also disappears in the eyes of ultimate analysis. Okay, that's amazing, extremely profound meditation. But what's the benefit of this? Just as the self dissolves in the experience of the ultimate analysis, a tickling sensation can come to you, a goosebumps can happen, cold waves can flow through your bodies or through the skin of your body. If these happen, you are very fortunate. You're on the proper track. If these do not happen, don't worry. It's a matter of you Go into this direction, study more, reflect more, meditate more. Eventually these experiences will come to you. Okay. So the moment the self dissolves, a tickling sensation come in your body. In some cases, a touch of fear can come. You practice more of this fear will be replaced by amazingly profound, tranquil experience. Wow, that's amazing. Just as this self dissolves in the experience of ultimate analysis, even your sorrows, sickness, aging, death, temptation, and the depression, and the sense of the wordlessness, and all these, if you subject them to ultimate analysis, to your surprise, they will all disappear. All sorrows disappear. All sorrows are transcended. This is what the Buddha indicated as the fourth seal. Transcending sorrow is absolute peace. You feel the moment these sorrows dissolve, you feel such lightness at your heart. This is absolute peace. Just stay in this experience for a while. And generate very strong aspiration. May I experience this emptiness, where all my sorrows are transcended. This is known as a renunciation. One would renounce all your sorrows. Okay, slowly come out of the practice. Take a few seconds, rest before we move to the bodhicitta. Are you ready? Bodhicitta is extremely important practice, without which no matter how much you do single point of meditation, any single point of meditation, be it meditation of the awareness of your mind, or the sensations, or the breath, or the Buddha image, whatever, your compassion, universal compassion, which is so beautiful, the core of the Buddha's teachings, will not arise. So this has to be done separately. Later on, when you reach to a very high level of the practice of the Bodhisattva practice, Bodhisattvas, the practices, then you reach to a level whereby all these practices will mutually enhance each other, mutually enhancing. Practice of wisdom and bodhicitta is enhanced. Practice of wisdom, the bodhicitta and the wisdom is enhanced. That will come to, it'll come only when you reach certain level of the progress. Okay. Given that this is extremely important practice, and for your personal interest, this practice, if you get it, the ease will expand your mind. It's amazingly beautiful practice. Yet, we are hard into this practice since time immemorial till now. We need incredibly great support. The greatest support is the triple gem, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. All the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Think of all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas there blessing you, blessing each of your sentient beings in the practice of this universal bodhicitta. We do this on the basis of the four immeasurables. Whereas later on, when you learn the two methods to generate bodhicitta, we have to do the two methods separately, because simply by the practice of four immeasurables will not suffice to practice bodhicitta. But it will simply sustain you, create the ground. Since we don't have time, number one, and number two, that we are not introduced to these two methods, so we just do the ground creation, which is for immeasurables. Okay, the first, immeasurable loving kindness. And I'm again given the warning here that some of us may feel that this practice seems so superficial. Yes, it's going to be superficial. Because of this, we require training. And once trained is so beautiful. You'll be so amazed to see that if I did not really practice this, starting from very superficial practice, by now this amazing feeling of the expansive compassion would not arise, could not have arisen. Okay, ready? Immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. Causes of happiness primarily consisting of the fearless wisdom of emptiness and the most beautiful mind of bodhicitta. May all my dear sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. All the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, seeing the courageous commitment you are making here, like the mother after all these many years of raising her children, today the eldest daughter, just age 12 or age 11, likewise the eldest son, like this age, two of them come to the mother, telling the mother, "Mother, please take rest. You have done everything for us. Now we are grown up. We'll take care of all our siblings." And the mother, yes, indeed, the mother, after all these many years of hardship, could not believe what she's hearing, what she is seeing. And the tears of joy come in the mother. This is exactly what is happening to all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, to see that you are making such a courageous commitment to take the responsibility for all the sentient beings on your own shoulder. And this joy and happiness Buddhists and Bodhisattvas feel invoke their compassionate omniscient minds to send forth nectars every soothing light towards you and all the sentient beings. The mere touch of light and nectars with the bodies and beings of yours instills in all happiness and the cause of happiness in the minds of sentient beings of yourself. And you, witnessing such miracles happening towards all of the sentient beings, you're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sound relief. Immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. The cause of suffering primarily consists of self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude. May all my dear sentient beings be freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. The Buddhist Bodhisattvas witnessing that you are making such a courageous commitment, they're intensely happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate omniscient minds to send forth nectars of soothing light towards you and all the sentient beings. The mere touch of light and nectars with the boss beings yours, washes away all the miseries and the cause of miseries from the minds of sentient beings you yourself. And you witnessing such miraculous happening towards all of the sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths with relief. Immeasurable joy. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. May all my dear sentient beings never be separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. I will take the responsibility that all my dim sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they endowed with. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing that you make such a courageous commitment, they intense happiness and proud for you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassion omniscient minds to ascend the nectar separate soothing lights towards you and all dim sentient beings. The mere touch of the lights and nectars with the bodies brings yours, stabilizes the happiness and the causes of happiness the beings are endowed with. And you are in such a miracle step towards all the dim sentient beings. You are intense happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sound with relief. Immeasurable equanimity. How good would it be that all my dim sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead making them abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other dim sentient beings equally, leaving them aside. May all my dim sentient beings be freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead abide in the great state of equanimity. I will take the responsibility that all my dim sentient beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing that we make such a courageous commitment, like the mother after all these many years of bearing the hardship of raising her children. Today, the eldest daughter and the eldest son, just such a tender young age 12 and 11, they come to the mother, telling the mother, "Mother, please take rest. You have done everything for us. You love us so much. We love you too so much. And we're grown up now. We'll take care of all our siblings." And the mother couldn't believe her eyes and ears. So much of joy. The tears of joy runs down her cheeks. This is exactly what happens to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. They're so proud and happy today. This pride and happiness of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas invoke their compassion omniscient minds to ascend to the nectar of very soothing lights towards you and all dim sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars for the bodies brings yours. Frees the beings from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead making them abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other dim sentient beings equally, leaving them aside. And Buddhas and you witnessing such a miracle is happening towards all of dim sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Underscoring all the 4 immeasurables is unconditional love towards all the beings. Just abide in this incredibly beautiful mind of unconditional love towards all the beings. Imagine that you're looking at the eyes of each of such beings with so much love and affection, to the extent that each one of them feels themselves so special in your eyes. With folded hands, let us make a Buddhist commitment 3 times together, wholeheartedly. Be it superficial, it's fine, it doesn't matter. From your side, just try best to invoke the Spirit. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. Just about in this incredible, the most beautiful, most appealing mind in this universe. The aspiration to become Buddha for the benefit of all dear mother sentient beings. Slowly transform this beautiful mind of Bodhicitta into a spotless, clean moon disk, 1 inch or 1.5 inches in diameter, horizontally sitting with the heart. It's amazing that you made such a courageous commitment to become Buddha. But remember that no matter how much you squeeze a handful of sand, no oil comes out. Yes, I know that. I'm not like a handful of sand. Instead, I'm like a handful of sunflower seeds. I do have a Buddha nature within me. It's a seed of perfection within me, not only me, in the minds of all the demonstration beings. And at the same time, remember that if you have this Buddha nature, why not? That since time immemorial till now, it is never activated. Yes, that's true. It's all because that thus far, since time immemorial till now, I'm being deceived by the two demons, self-grasping, ignorant, self-centered attitude. And today I'm disillusioned by these two. I'm going to do everything to exterminate these two demons. What am I going to do? I'm going to introduce extremely powerful remedy. What is that? The wisdom of non-dual wisdom of emptiness. What is this wisdom of emptiness like? Okay, let's quickly retrieve the meditation emptiness, which we did as a part of the 4 seals, with the 3rd seal which said everything is nature, emptiness, selflessness. Okay, let's retrieve the emptiness of the experience of the emptiness of yourself. What are you doing? I'm meditating. And how does this person appear to you? You who you identify as I appear to you, like a dream that your mind is creating it, or as objectively real, nothing to do with the mind, independent of my mind, so object real there. Yes, of course, so object real there. That belief is known as self-grasping ignorance. And how do you know that it is ignorance? It's not a valid mind. Yes. If it does exist the way it appears, is so object real. Remember what Arya Nagarjuna taught. If the mirage were to be water, one not those close by the mirage see water. With a similar token of reasoning, if the self who identifies I to Buddha exists objectively, why don't I see this self as I go closer to its object? Okay, now let us go closer to its object, which is technically referred to as the ultimate analysis. Let us subject this self to ultimate analysis. Subject this self to an ultimate analysis, we just end up seeing the 6 elements: earth, water, fire, air, space, and consciousness. Okay. So now there are only 2 possibilities if the self does exist objectively. Either these 6 elements, one of these 6 elements should be the self, or different from 6 elements should be the self. So what about these 6 elements? Which of 6 elements is it to identify as intrinsically, as objectively as the self? None. Okay. Then see if the self exists objectively as real. Other than the 6 elements, remove the 6 elements. What is left there? Self. Nothing's left there. Self. Okay, both the possibilities for the objective self are ruled out. So where is the self now from the object in the eyes of ultimate analysis? In the eyes of ultimate analysis, self is nowhere to be seen. I'm discovering that the self is empty objectively when subject to ultimate analysis. Stay in this experience for a while, where the self dissolves. In some cases, a tinge of fear can come. In some cases, cold waves can flow through your body. In some cases, tingling sensations. In some cases, extremely profound tranquility, serenity can dawn in you. Should any of these experiences come to you, you're extremely fortunate. But if not, don't worry. Make yourself more accessible to studies, reflection, meditation. Then gradually these experiences will come to you. Okay, just about this experience of emptiness, where the self dissolves in the experience of the emptiness. slowly transform this fearless wisdom of emptiness of the self into a spotless, clean, thumb-sized white Vajra, vertically sitting on the Montessori heart. Okay, now you have the blaze of the non-dual bodhicittas, two bodhicittas in non-dual form. Moon symbolic of the conventional bodhicitta, which is an aspiration to become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. This will guarantee to exterminate the demon of self-grasp, self-centered attitude. And the Vajra is symbolic of the ultimate bodhicitta, the non-dual wisdom of the Arya Bodhisattvas. And this combined with the moon guarantees that all the mental defilements, be it afflictive or cognitive, are going to be exterminated completely. Wow. With this, your Buddha nature will manifest, glow perfectly well, and this glow will just spread in every direction, every atom of the universe. This makes you omniscient being with total fearlessness and an infinite happiness, with the capacity to benefit all the dimensional beings. That's amazing. Okay. But let us not forget that your two parents are there, that your family members are there, your children are there. All dimensional beings are terribly suffering. Invoke incredibly great compassion for them. And this compassion invokes your Vajramuni at your heart to multiply infinite number of times. Share one set of Vajramuni at the heart of your mother. Share one set of the Vajramuni at the heart of your father. Share one set of the Vajramuni with each of your family members, including children, with each of the sentient beings here in Thosamling, the staff, all the cats, dogs, insects, the spirits, hungry ghosts, hell beings, god and goddesses, all the beings here in Thosamling, and every being in India, in your own country, in the entire world. In each of the trillions creatures in the oceans, in each of the trillions of ocean, the creatures in the wilderness, in the forests, and all in the and sharing this Vajramoon with all the beings in the entire universe. Now everyone has a share of the Vajramoon from you. So kind of you. Let us not forget that all Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they are watching us. Yes. Why don't I invite all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas to be the witness and the guests to our taking the special Bodhisattva vow? As a gesture of making this request to all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, let us slowly stand up along with all demonstration beings to make 3 prostrations to all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas. Okay, see if you can sit on your right knees. Sit on your right knees, your right knee. If you have knee problem, then no need to sit in the most comfortable the position. And those who have back problem, knee problem, whatever you have, problem, that if you cannot sit on your right knees, don't force yourself. Sit in a comfortable position. But if you can, just sit on your right knee. This is the taking the aspiration of Bodhisattva vow. Thank you. And already explained, as explained before, Taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow, it does not require you to be a Buddhist. No need. Even if you are non-Buddhist, atheist, non-believers, anybody can take this aspiration Bodhisattva vow. So here, the vow doesn't mean that you have so many commitments. Nothing. You don't have any commitment. If at all you want to have a commitment, then just make the commitment that from today onwards, I'll try my best to be kind towards other people, help others. If not, at least I'll not harm others. This much, if you can commit yourself, you are entitled to take this aspiration Bodhisattva vow, and the benefit is enormous. For the practice of the compassion, eventually you will come to discover that the benefit is just truly enormous, where these people have to depend on the antidepressants, people who depend on the tranquilizers, sleeping pills, and so forth. Whereas with this practice, your compassion grows. You don't have to depend on these anymore. There's a tremendous calmness, vast expanse of the joy, peace, calmness dawns in you. Okay, so with this in mind, the meanings already explained. I will not explain the meanings once more. Just the whole, how to say this, reflection meanings, and if possible, try best to invoke the experiences as much as you can. Okay, all the Bodhisattvas are with you. They're watching us, and we just imagine that it's like you, as a little girl age 5 or a little boy age 5. For the first time in your life, you are making a public appearance on behalf of your school. And you're a little nervous, and then your parents on that day, they left behind whatever they have to do for that day to join the audience, waving to give you moral support, waving their hands to you, saying that we are here, we are so proud of you. So this is what all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas are doing today. They're so proud, they're watching us, and then you invite them to be the guest and the witness. Yes, they so readily, with so much love and affection, they come to join us as the witness and the guests to our taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. And you, as a little girl and little boy, extremely responsible child, you bring along with you all your siblings to take part in this program. And this is exactly what you're doing. You include all the sentient beings who are like your siblings, who are suffering terribly badly, and you're bringing them here in order for them to stop the miseries through this practice of bodhicitta. So with this in mind, imagine that you're leading this practice. All the Bodhisattvas, they're watching us with so much of joy and happiness, and you're including all your family, including all the demon sentient beings to join you to engage in this practice. Okay, read this, let us read this together wholeheartedly. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please behave to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please behave to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please behave to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully train in Bodhisattva practices. You feel the joy over having received the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. Feel the joy. And meanwhile, if you feel painful, sit down. If you feel pain, because the pain should not restrict your reflections. Feel the joy of having taken the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. And just imagine that all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they're so proud of what you did today. And just imagine that your mother, after all these many years of receiving complaint from the school over you, the naughty little girl, naughty little boy, every year, the mother receiving complaints. And today, the mother saw the school principal coming, escorted by other teachers. And again, the mother is very impressed. What kind of complaints? And school principal said, no, 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 no. We came here to congratulate you. For what? Your daughter and your son, two of them, are appointed as the best of the students of this year, of the school for this year. The mother couldn't believe her eyes in years. After all these many years of receiving complaint only, and today she's hearing something so pleasant. This is exactly what happens to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. All these many lifetimes, all these innumerable lifetimes, they expect us to do only virtues so that we will not suffer. We'll not engage in the non-virtues, not to suffer. Engage in virtues that you are happy. But on the contrary, we do the opposite. We just do the opposite. We kept on chasing after the non-virtues, and we just shun the virtues. And today, you did something so different, which makes all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas extremely proud of you. And this pride and the happiness the Buddhist Bodhisattvas feel invoke the Vajra moon at their hearts to multiply infinite number of times. Like rain shower, these replicas of the Vajra moon in trillions and trillions, infinite numbers of the Vajra moon replicas, they descend to merge with the one that we visualize in your heart, thereby become non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. Likewise, all these replicas, infinite number of replicas of Vajra moon from the hearts of the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they descend like rain shower, descend to merge with the one that you visualize at the heart of your mother, at the heart of your father, at the heart of each one of your members, including children, each of the sentient beings here in Thosamling, in India, in your own country, in the world, in the oceans, in the wilderness, in the forests, in the entire Milky Way galaxy, in the entire universe. Everyone, the Vajramun that you have shared with them, they're being blessed by all the descent of the millions and trillions of Vajramuns from Buddhist Bodhisattvas. They are becoming non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. That's amazing. This is amazing. This is the greatest of the gift that you can possibly give to the sentient beings, and today you have gifted them with this gift. And of all the offerings, the Buddha declared that one moment of generating compassion far excels the gift of the whole universe filled with gems, gold, silver, diamond, and offered to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. If this were to be the case, what a mention of our having taken as Bodhisattva vow. So this is amazing. This is the best, amazing, the greatest offerings that you can possibly make to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. And today you made this. And your life of any purpose or meaning of life, this is of the greatest meaning. And today you have given such a meaning to your life. All these wonders happening because of the blessings of the Buddhist Bodhisattvas. As a gesture of thanking them, again, along with all demonstration beings, let us slowly stand up to make 3 prostrations to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. Okay, please take your seats. Okay, if you're very serious with this practice, you will come to know that the overtime is not that it's not like quick fix. It will take time, and then over time you'll come to realize that in this life, this is the most important practice that you can do to see meaning, to give meaning to your life. So then we see that in this life, okay, we met with this tradition, amazing, the letter tradition, the initial talk by the Buddha Shakyamuni, then further explained by the great knowledge masters like Arya Nagarjuna, Bodhisattva Arideva, then Acharya Chandrakirti, Bodhisattva Shantideva, and so forth. And then Lama Selingpa from Indonesia. Then Lama Adisha Devangari Shri Gyana, who received all these, the corpus of the teachings from Bodhicitta from Lama Seling from Indonesia. And then he brought this to Tibet. He was invited to Tibet by the kings brought to Tibet. Then and then we have His Holiness today, who embodies all these teachings and the practices. But what about the next life? This next question. Will we come in contact with these teachings? And oftentimes my friends, who are doing the Nalanda studies at Tibet House, some of them say that this teaching, whole corpus of the teaching of the Nalanda is so amazing. How come that they came in contact with the teaching so late in my life? This is what many of my friends say. So we're lucky that we met with this teaching. What if we do not meet with this at all in the first place? Very scary. So how to make sure that in the next life we meet with this teaching? So precious teaching, practice, meditation. How do we make this happen? So there are two things. Some people, they don't even meet with this teaching. How many people are there in the first place know Dharma at all? And number two, even if with the Dharma, something like just single point of meditation or like this, and then there's no compassion practice, there's no wisdom awareness practice. It's very sad. And we never know that we can also become one like them in the future lifetimes. So one thing is that we need to meet with the Dharma. One, correct Dharma. Number two, after meeting with this, then for example, like the Tibetans or Ladakhis, Chinese, Vietnamese, and so forth, and many of them, they're born, they come in contact with this Dharma. When they're born, they come in contact. But how many of them are serious? Although they come in contact, very lucky that they're born in this tradition. But how many of them are serious? It doesn't mean that when you come in contact with this Dharma, you'll automatically flow with this with so much of rigor. You will take the maximum benefit out of this. No, not sure. Not sure. Because if you may think that, oh, you are a Tibetan, or you're the disciple of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, you must have minimum like 50% of what His Holiness has. No, we don't have. And some people, they connection with, they associate with Dharma so weak. For them, Dharma is like, okay, Sherry Pema, you can help. Okay, Dr. Tam, you can go. So what I'm saying is that many people, they meet, but then they're not serious. If not serious, you will not reap the benefit. For example, like the Tibetan, how many Tibetans are here? Right? Love, official duty, right? Okay. So what I'm saying, the Ladakh is how many? The only few Ladakhs are here, right? So what I'm saying is that even if you meet with the Dhamma, doesn't guarantee that you will rigorously engage in this. So the point is that the two things to keep in mind for the future lives. In this life, you have come in contact, and people, particularly those people who come in contact with this later in life, They're very serious. Many of them very serious. That's amazing. So now what about next life? Next life we have to think of two things. One, meet with the Dharma early, since very early on. Number two, not only with the meet with the Dharma, but rigorously engage in this practice. Rigorously engage in this practice. Two things. So for to meet with the Dharma, we cannot really do as much. What we have to do is that we have to create the conditions, like including very powerful prayers that I be met, that I meet with this Dharma. In the future lifetimes also, the two Bodhicittas, Dharma of two Bodhicittas, make it very strong wish, and also that the create conditions for other people, inspire other people to practice bodhicitta, practice wisdom, emptiness, and so forth, and try to, in whatever way you can, assist them instead of being jealous. Try to create conditions for other people, inspire others in this direction, right? So these are the factors which will make you connect with the Dharma. Once you're connected, then you should be rigorously engaging in number two, rigorously engaging in this practice. How to make it happen is that this very okay. So let's say that you say particularly when you're a little child, little girl or little boy, how many you're so excitedly waiting for tomorrow as your birthday celebration the next day. Make sense? Yes. And your birthday, how long do you want it? One day or 2 days or 3 days, 4 days? If possible, 1 day is too short, right? Too short, because you enjoy it. You enjoy this time is too short, right? So there's a full involvement there. Whereas if you don't enjoy it, like meditation, sometimes we don't enjoy it. Meditation, okay, I have to do my meditation, right? 5 minutes, and then now by now 5 minutes gone. Look at it, it's only 1 minute gone. Again, now gone, 1 minute and 5 seconds, right? Time simply, what is that English word? It's the time dilates. You're gonna, time dilation happens. Relativity theory, time dilation happens, right? 1 second seems to be like 10 minutes. Okay, so the point is that when we feel the joy, then things become extremely of high quality. Whatever you do becomes very high quality. So bodhicitta practice, the word bodhicitta, if you associate joy with this word bodhicitta, is it the joy with the bodhicitta, word bodhicitta, thought of bodhicitta, associate, connect these two, link. Later on, when you hear the bodhicitta, the joy will be retrieved. How many of you, once in a while, say you smell something, it takes you back in time with your mother? Presents? Smell or eat something, and the taste takes you back. You feel so nostalgia, right? This taste has nothing to do with your mother, but you have connected these two, the memory of the mother's love with this particular taste, because that this was the taste most likely that you experienced the most when you were little, when you were with the mother. So that is connected with the mother's love and this taste. The moment you feel this taste, instantly this love is retrieved. And love is so beautiful, it makes you cry. You're getting it? So next life, they says, you as a little boy, little girl, you hear the word bodhicitta, instantly your hair stand on end with so much joy. What is this? This is so pleasant, right? And then you just chase after this person or whatever, which is bodhicitta, right? And you engage in, you rigorous engage in this. So we need to think of two plans now. One, to be connected with the teaching of the bodhicitta, wisdom of emptiness. And then number two, that once connected, then rigorous engage in this practice. For this, you build so here, page 51, the verse that added, the first verse, this is for us to be connected in the form of very powerful praise, to be connected with the Dharma of bodhicitta, wisdom, emptiness in the next life. And the following verses, they are to connect bodhicitta, wisdom, emptiness with the joy. So the next life, you rigorously engage in this practice. Okay, let's say this 3 times together. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassion of Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even at the cost of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassion of Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even at the cost of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassion of Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even at the cost of my life. Okay, now, the following verses are taken from Bodhisattva Shantideva's book, Guided Bodhisattva's Way of Life, and this is to connect the Bodhisattva teachings with the joy and happiness. So later in the future lifetimes, when you hear this word bodhicitta, instantly you feel connected with joy. In order to further increase this bodhicitta from now on, those with discernment who have lucidly seized and awakened the mind of bodhicitta in this way should highly praise it in the following manner. Today my life has borne fruit. Having well obtained this human existence, I've been born in the family of the Buddha, and now am one of Buddha's children. Thus, whatever actions I do from now on must be in accord with the family. Never shall it disgrace or pollute this noble and unsullied race. Just like a blind man discovering a jewel in a heap of rubbish, likewise by some coincidence, an awakened mind has been born within me. It's the supreme ambrosia that overcomes the suffering of death. It is the inexhaustible treasure that eliminates all poverty in the world. It's the supreme medicine that quells the world's disease. Is the tree that shelters all beings wandering and tired on the path of conditioned existence. It is a universal bridge that leads to freedom from unhappy states of birth. It is a adornment of the mind that dispels the torment of disturbing conceptions. It is a great sun that finally removes the misty ignorance of the world. It is the quintessential butter from the churn of the mill of Dharma. For all those guests travel on the path of conditioned existence who wish to experience the boundless happiness, this will satisfy them with joy, and it shall place them in supreme bliss. Today, in the presence of all the protectors, I invite the worthy guests at a festival of temporary and ultimate delight. May God's temple all be joyful. Declaration prayer. I dedicate the merit thus gathered towards the realization that these the prayers of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of 3 times and to the upholding of the doctrine inscription inside. May I in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect way in the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, vast space that I've amassed, from working with effort in this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdomized blinded by ignorance. Teyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Swaha Teyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Swaha Teyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Swaha. Dear processions together.